talk it out from end to end. And if you've got something to share, pick up the phone, turn it up, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real, with Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end. And if you've got something to share, pick up the phone, turn it up, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real, with Pierre at the wheel. Pierre.
Welcome brothers, welcome sisters, welcome to our program On Target. Always remember, the number to call is 442-0175. A very interactive program where we give you an opportunity to make your contribution, irrespective of your command of your English language. That makes no sense here. You can communicate with us. We are on Real FM 91.9, 91.5. We are on We Noise FM in New York 94.9. And we encourage you to like, share, subscribe. It's important. Share the program. When you, in this period of technology with YouTube, it's very important to share the program and subscribe to the program. Help us to build. And in Grenada here, we deal with what is trending or any other subject matter. And you have the medium, you have the via, you have the power. You can express yourself and you can ask questions. We have some issues trending that we feel very, very strong about. Over the last 3 years, you would hear us speaking on that subject matter about the Grenada Development Bank. We take that issue practically personally. During 1973, you had to be around to understand the accusation and the criticism that was going on against the Gary government then. The Grenada Development Bank was set up to assist and help the people that the traditional bank was not helping. They were poor Grenadians, they were agriculture people, artisans, vendors, the cottage industry. The poor are the poor. The bank did not want to see you. So the bank was set up with Grenadian money and other money from agencies and donations, and they put a proviso that politicians, the directors of the board, and the immediate family cannot take no loan from the bank. That was done to protect the integrity of the government. You don't want to have a government and every minute people saying you're corrupt. Whether it's true or not, you don't want that. This government has break open the doors so corruption could take place. They opened the door wide. The guardrails, they have dismounted the guardrails. And what they did to the Grenada Development Bank is wrong. It's an abomination. And I believe we must make publish the names of the ministers and directors that receive loan or obtain money from the Grenada Development Bank, and say when. Because there are some people that are given the impression that they receive the money in the life of the NNP. No minister of government, no director of the board ought not to obtain money from the Grenada Development Bank. It's not that they don't qualify. All of us is poor people in Grenada. It's just a few rich people in Grenada. That was placed as a guardrail against corruption. So if you wanted the loan, leave the government. The government must make known to the public who are the individual. We are hearing Andy is one, we are hearing Lennox Andrew is another one. We don't know. Make available the amount of money each of them receive. We understand that millions of dollars was given. So the best thing you could do, as quick as possible, make available the names, the amount of money that was given, and when. And remember, this is not NNP that's asking that. You could associate the people who are asking it with NNP if you want. Nothing is wrong with that. That is individual people, and we in tongue long. We in tongue long. So the best thing you could do is to make public. You will also be helping your members. When the Prime Minister of Grenada, the corrupter in chief, right now, you're not helping you political activists, you politicos, you apologists. You have them behaving badly. They personally attacking people on social media and on radio, even when they see you. Because they say the Prime Minister don't lie. I told them the Prime Minister is a compulsive liar. But they don't believe. They say they're lying on him, they're lying on him. I said, no. The Prime Minister lying more than all other leaders put together. Make it available. That won't go away. The level of corruption we're hearing again. The government of Grenada is not doing justice to the hardline NDC. Because you claim that information is based upon need to know. And the journalists, the reputable journalists that you recognize, they're playing games. They're not asking you questions. Rumors and regulation rumors and speculation, not regulation, speculation going to run wild. Because when we hear something, we know you're lying already, and you're not coming out and say whether it's the truth or not. So we're saying what we hear. Some people even sexing it up. So you always behind chasing rumors and speculation. That is not in a good position to be. I don't envy the NDC political activists. They're in a bad shape. They don't have information. They cannot defend you. So they're trying to personally attack those who claim that they have the truth. Over a year ago, we was on radio expressing sympathy with Simon Says, because we saw what the government and the police was doing as intimidating her. You want to maul her. You want to frighten her. You want to shut her. That is when you was using drones. That did not work. Jenny Simon didn't back down. Maybe at this stage she said, I have nothing to lose anymore, so I'm going full voltage. Then we saw what was attempted on Real FM. Financial strangulation. Some of you political activists were saying to jail the individual. Hang him in the street and jail him. That did not work. The individual must feel, well, they go jail me anyway. They go put me in trouble anyway, so they're fighting back. This thing don't work. We don't know how to get it in the Prime Minister's head. That cannot work. We saw what went on in the revolution. Over 3,000 people were imprisoned, including Tillman Thomas. When the detainees appealed to Tillman Thomas, as a human rights lawyer. And he, Tillman Thomas, I don't know if he went to Bishop or he opened him out. He ended up in jail too. Leslie Pierre and Lloyd Noel. Yes, scholar, welcome. You there, caller? We're hearing your phone, but something is not right.
That's going on there.
You're live on our program on Target.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, go right ahead, brother.
Yeah, I find I hearing you better now. Right.
Yeah.
There seems to have been a glitch. Mr. Pierre, I addressed two callers that called on your program sometime last week, trying their best to make this government look good, trying to make their best to make Grenada look like it is progressing and developing. Apparently, they're not living in this country, or this very country that I'm living in, for sure. And I showed them something so simple. When Kit Mitchell was in power, along with his administration, Grenada economy used to be growing for the 10 years thereabouts by 5.5% at least on the average. There were endless jobs produced. There were endless people working. A big change from now. The last IMF report showed that Grenada economy grew by 3.6%. And remember, I pointed out that when Keith Mitchell was there, it was 5.5% at least on the average. So here we have a decrease of at least 2%, you might say. And a simple way of getting these guys to understand what really happened there, it's like you're working for $100 during Kit Mitchell time. Every day you leave your work, you're getting $520 in your hand to go home with. What now shows up? Based on the economic statistics coming from the IMF, you're now working for $320 every day. How you telling me that's progress and development? I used to be going home with every day $520. Now I'm going home with $3. Or even if you say $3, and then you get to add $5 to it, to $65. Take note of what's going on in this country now. Cost of living has moved from, let's say it used to be 1%, it gone 20% now. Put it that way. I'm just doing the simple maths or the simple calculation for the people to understand this kind of thing. So that when you used to have $100 that you could spend on so much, you now have $65. That's one part of it. Cost of living has gone up exponentially. So that, for example, sugar. Let's put in this $1 a pound for sugar when Kit Mitchell was there. Now you're paying $1.40 for sugar. You're paying $1 for sugar when from rice now. Rice when Kit Mitchell was there, now you're paying $1.50. That's the kind of thing that these guys don't understand about economics and come talking about progress and development in this country. What we have is regression. Plain and simple. How is that is hard to understand. So how you want to come try to paint a picture as a Grenada is developing and things are better now? Excuse me? Which country this guy is living in? Or people of that sort living in? On top of that, the level of corruption that starts from the head. The very Prime Minister is one of the most corrupt person in this country right now. When the Prime Minister leaves Grenada and go to Dubai and this place and them, he's going there for a lot of personal reasons. He claimed to be the best spokesman and the best ambassador for tourism, you might say, in Grenada, for Grenada. But when he goes, don't forget that he's an agent for the CBI program. The Minister for Finance is an agent for the CBI program too. He acknowledged on a program that he was a part of that he no longer is the director of his company, But he has not disbanded his company. Actually, company was set up as he came into office. So since he became Minister for Finance, he's no longer director of the company. But the company was set up since he became a minister. At first, he was aviation minister, etc., etc. Now he's directly Minister of Finance. And he still has an agency as a CBI agent. What kind of nonsense is that? You hear what Laco say. You hear what people like Janie Simon saying. The kind of a thing that is going on that a lot of us wouldn't know except it is exposed by these people and them. So which country these guys are living? I can tell you more, Mr. Pierre, to point out all the things that is nonsensical in this present situation.
Yeah.
But other people want a chance.
Yes. Well, there is no question that we selected a bunch of political neophytes that lack institutional knowledge, that was disrespectful and arrogant, and they greedy. So the actions they take directly contributed to increasing the cost of living. Yes, we are a strong consumer of goods. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, you talk about cost of living. Cost of living high. Yes, cost of living high all over the world. So I think when the gas go up by 10 cents, you only go up in Grenada, going up all over the world. So when you come and tell me that cost of living high, my brother, this present government, they take out $2 on the gas price in this country. They take out VAT on 20 items in this country. What if they take out more? Why would they do?
Caller, you there? All right, thank you, caller. Caller, the government raised the price of sugar. They raised the price of water. They raised the price of electricity. When you do that in a country, and particularly when you do it the same time, you raise the price of practically everything in the country. The businessman seeing his water rate going up, his electricity price going up, and the businessman is going to raise his goods to make up for that additional increase. The government raised their income by over 300%. It was so quick and it was so dramatic that it aroused the interest of the country. And then to create a little buffer, they raised the daily wage. And they say no additional work. So what is happening? Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon. And how was your weekend?
Great, man. Good, man.
Great. Now, Mr. Pierre, I could have remembered when the pandemic hit the world. Price of oil was going up. Price of gas was going up. Price of goods was going up. And you know what the very same mouth you still say, Mr. Pierre? It was Dr. Mitchell. How come all the prices is going up? How come we have the highest prices in the Caribbean? How come the gas price going up and we didn't sudden price? Because it's Dr. Mitchell are putting everything on the port and all that kind of a thing. Dr. Mitchell come, he put $15 cap on the gas price. So if anything, the gas price gone up to over 15, you only have to pay one price. And he do that to cushion the effect on the life of people, and especially the poor and the vulnerable ones. He put 25% in tax and 25% free on currency, right? So you take out 25% free on currency. So to cushion the effect on the electricity, right? He put freight on the port to cushion the effect, to control the goods price, right? Because you see these prices was going up. What this present administration commando? The commander remove all this thing. I couldn't remember MIT minister say, why should cap it at 15 when they could get it for less? Now they see the effect of biting them back, right? And then now you hear in the same mouth coming and say now, oh, well, the thing was going across all up in the world. It was going up all over the world. We all know that, but then the impression that you all give the people then, that when Kit Mitchell was deliberately putting up on the food price, and they just blaming him, the man, for everything was going on, and they know the thing was going up around the world. The war in Ukraine, the pandemic. Yeah. So now we are seeing the good prices going up all across the world. What is this government is doing to cushion the effect, cost of living going up? Nothing. So don't come on the radio station and say what the man do and what the man do. When you was in opposition, you all run all your mouth on Dr. Mitchell and say how good prices was going up and it's Dr. Mitchell's fault and it's Dr. Mitchell's fault. You all didn't know the goods price was going up all over the world? You all didn't know gas price was going up all over the world? You all didn't know then? How you all know now? All the two high-class hypocrite in this country say what is wrong. When it's wrong, it's wrong. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. When you cause it, you have to fix it. Have a good evening, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, but irrespective of the political pecan, we have to accept the fact that because the government raised the price of sugar, water, and electricity, you practically shock the economy. And some of the actions the government take create doubt. And small economies like ours, confidence is a big thing. Confidence. So if the businessman don't have confidence in the economy, he would not expand. He may not take risk. He might not even paint in front of the shop. You come to the businessman, he say thing bad. Because he realized all you're hearing is about corruption. If the prime minister starting the year by telling you ban your belly, what you expect going to happen? Yes, caller, tell us.
Hello, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre, support the last caller,
Yeah.
I live in this country, and I NDC and them. And like I just can't stand to hear them. Because as how the caller saying, in Desakit, everything was bad. No, how one leak, everything good, nothing wrong in this country for this NDC and them. So much of corruption taking place in this country, and you're hearing it from some of those ministers and them. You're hearing it from them. So you see how hypocrite this NDC and them is in this country. I see on my area where they give one man a contract about 500 feet of road, and you know what they tell him, Mr. Pierre? And I could testify that. You know what they tell him? He doing a portion now, whenever I get a piece until close to the election. That's not corruption. One set of people are benefiting in this country. Always take it. One set. I work years with public works, not under the NDC. And every contract we do, we have supervisor. We have engineers coming and supervise job. No, we don't no supervision. So that's why everybody doing what they want. Road crumbling, money spending, and nobody don't know how we spending. And they don't see that, and every day they come in and say about that the most work they ever see in history in Grenada. That's lie. This NDC people and them have to stop this stupidness, and otherwise this country is just down and down. Correct the Prime Minister and the Minister them of the wrong.
Yes, I like that statement you make. We have to correct the Prime Minister.
Correct him.
And point out to him and make suggestions to him.
To him. And here we might try to be a little better place.
Yeah, because we need him, we need the Prime Minister to do better. For the last 2 years, otherwise, things will be real tough.
Yes.
Yeah, we need him to take some better decisions.
It's tough. And I don't see a guy like Al-KG and all of them calling and say, since the revolution to know that the most work they ever see and history day to prove
Well,
most work they ever see. That's a lie. Stop
That's not true.
telling lies.
The only thing that was going on in the revolution was the airport.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Ah.
Yeah. At the airport, and every day people running, 3,000 people in jail. They
Yes.
castrating people. They shooting people. They have rastas, 300 rastas in the cow pen.
Yes.
The rasta says the cow pen. They call it the Woodville.
Bill.
And they was taking advantage on people, heavy manners, and
Mr.
people skipping the country. And go.
Mr. Pierre, something I noticed and I could testify that I see guys getting little contract now and they don't know nothing and they're taking trade to do the work.
But yeah, because remember, the Prime Minister said the only reason NMP getting a little thing is because they don't know who the real NDC is.
Yes, that's
So
right.
it appears they fired 31 person from Grand Bay Estate. We spoke about that extensively. They bring back, we heard 19 of the 31 was NDC. They bring back 20.
Pierre, Grenada situation is not nice.
That is unacceptable. And,
Yeah, he don't good.
and he didn't have to go down that way.
No, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have to be that
Then
way.
bring it right down and it's down. We're going down a slippery road.
Yes, Scholar, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, all right, stop here.
One of the problems the government also had, the government won election, they won 9 seats. The government was brand new. So the people do not believe that the government have any axe to grind. The Prime Minister became very vindictive and they start looking for green blood. So if you work in a ministry, you would understand that a lot of people who are in the ministry, you don't know what the political swing is, particularly senior officers. They don't engage in much political talk. And people would tell you, when the government policy don't good, make it work. And you don't supposed to criticize government policy. Yes, Scholar, welcome.
Mr. Afternoon, how are you doing?
Great, man. Good, man.
Mr. Pierre, you have a lady what is to sell by the hospital where Dr. Kit was in power. Everybody there, she called Shaggy. She called out Dr. Kit. Oh, the price too high. Put down the price. Dr. Kit, what you go do for us? That price too high today. Who she calling and tell to put on price? She don't have nobody to call to put on the price. And you know what I noticed with the people and them that support the NMP, the NDC, just as you see how the Prime Minister getting on, just like that people are then calling and getting on so. But Mr. Pierre, these people are them too hypocrite because so much of things happening right now. You don't hear the calling and say nothing. I like a man like KJ and this man was calling and say thing high all over the world. These people are them, I don't know where they live in. I don't know if they're from Grenada to see what's happening. Mr. Pierre, don't see what's happening when NMP was there. It never used to a jab so. No, every minute jab. After jab yesterday, they passed that church people passed with the police leading the group praying to Grenada people. What these people are them have to call you and tell you. They're just calling you and take a lot of nonsense. Like these people and them, they don't have no brains. Like they're just as people when God make us as they say, and He leave us to dry. And He say when we dry, wait for we brains. And a lot of them when they wait, they didn't wait for the brains. And He have a set of them so Mr. Pierre calling you. Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're in your mood, you're really good. But soon as some of them call and talking tata, you getting headache. But Mr. Pierre, what I'm trying to say is only you, as you have a program, these people and them to call in and talk that nonsense and that tata and them, like that people and them don't go to school. Like if the children doing wrong, these people and them can correct the children, not Mr. Pierre. These people and them disgracing people. I find they could stop that and go and get a life because I don't find these people and our calling you and talking that tata with what the Prime Minister doing there and siding with it. I don't find they have a life. They must go and get a life. I don't think they just pray. I don't think they just have God in the morning to help them, ask them to say positive things than saying a lot of old negative things in their mind. These people and they must stop that and they must behave themselves and they must leave people mind at rest. Because these people and them, They don't live in your mind, right, Mr. Pierre, because since you see the cow taking that starter, it's Mr. Pierre, everything high in truth all over the wall, thing high. But we have it smooth and nice. But as this government come, they put up everything. Mr. Pierre, you can go in the shop with $100 now to buy nothing to put on the counter. So now when I go and buy 2 little pharmacies, when they tell me the price, it's so hurtful. Why these people are not behave themselves and open their heads and think what really this government doing in Grenada? They have to stop that, Mr. Pierre, and they're making people sick every time that man calling about Mr. Pierre. He not talking and saying nothing, Mr. Pierre. Nonsense alone that man talking. The man has to stop that. You have to stop that. It's time for that man to stop that. Mr. Pierre, have a good day.
Thank you. We have to be tolerant as a people. We can't go down this route. We have to be tolerating one another. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes,
Hi,
caller.
good morning, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
I listening to Grenadians saying that the last 30 years nothing has been done, Mr. Pierre. And the last 3 years so many things has happened. Something had to wrong with our brain. 30 years nothing don't happen, you know. But 3 years so many things happen. Is either we don't want to face reality. I don't want to say we should, you know, because we don't know should be deeply in Grenada, but something had to wrong with us. Is either we don't want to face the fact or we're just trying to be funny. Because that is real stupidness. I mean, not even one thing for the last 30 years and so many things for the last 3 years. That doesn't make no sense, Mr. Pierre. It just don't make no sense. It's time Grenada wise up and say it as it is. Straight up. Okay, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, you know, sometimes when they're politicking, they show these sponges, you know. And even though when you ask, give me 5 things that was done, they're struggling as if you ask them to write an essay. But we have to be realistic. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes.
Well, how we saying 30 years not no go on in Grenada? You don't watch how Grenada looking? Mr. Pierre, the amount of little things we have in this Grenada here, country as bigger than us don't have it, you know. You know that?
Yeah.
We country looking so nice. Who make it nice? A government will come and sit down there and make leave the country like that and believe the country don't look nice, don't make it nice, you know. You know what you that little Grenada? Huh? We little Grenada looking like a little America, you know. The only thing that is this problem here, this government that come here now, Mr. Pierre, we can buy and we don't have work. This government come here and we can buy and we don't have work. Check it out with little Grenada. Everybody like who come in running, come out in the country and come and live in my country. I don't say some of them come here and live in my country. You can go in there and live in it because they like my little country. And then when you finish the door, 30 years, where they living? Or where they you have a lot of glasses selling, you know. Your glasses selling, they could do. When them doctors and them come here, they give free. Why do they look at one get and put their glasses and watch around this little Grenada? Huh? Mr. Pierre, 2004, you know what our Grenada bill up? Everybody says Grenada didn't bouncing back. Watch how Dr. Mitchell bring it back and he do more than what he have to do. Mr. Pierre, this 3 years, nobody can tell me what I see in 3 years, you know. Pension is all the money, they didn't want sick for the money already there. They don't want beg for the money, you know, the money already there. What pension tax we taxing? Who get pension? As them people and them here, they can say that they putting up people 65 and everybody go and get the retirement, all. You check it out? So I don't see why we taking this. I don't like how we don't sit down and just run down we own country and then when we finish it here we have to leave.
Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, enjoy your day.
Yes, but in all fairness, we have moved by leaps and bounds in Grenada, and I have always said that. Electricity, telephone, water, and internet in Grenada, we second to none. We better than most, and we comparable with the best in the Caribbean. You doesn't hear me talking much about roads, because we have the best network of roads in Grenada. And I always say the roads are relatively good. Yes, you have potholes individuals supposed to drive 35 miles an hour. Don't drive fast. As soon as you fix a piece of road, people asking for sleeping police. Well, they don't have sleeping police now. They have some humps, you know. In addition to that, Grenada have about 68,000 registered vehicles. It means that we have a lot of discretionary income. We have the Land for the Landless program that gave rise to Grenada having the most landowners in the region. And remember, we liberalized the telecommunication network. So where radio and freedom is concerned, we have it galore. And when this government came into power, they met a healthy economy. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, call back.
Yeah.
Because one of your callers just reminded me of something that seriously need clarification in this country. I've been engaged to discuss that issue over and over by certain people who recognize that a call radio program and I deal with certain issues, and that is one of my pet subjects too. When Dr. Mitchell was in power, Dr. Mitchell never said he would not pay pension. By law, he had to, and because based on the fact that the lady won her case, and that was the situation, Dr. Mitchell planned to set up a committee to look into the pension issue going forward. When the new prime minister came in, he paid pension gratuity, not pension, because the whole issue of paying the pension going forward was still on the table. There was no clear-cut way of dealing with this situation. So what happened was that they paid the pension, full out of people's head, the pension gratuity, full out of people's head thinking that now pension is being paid. The same committee that Dr. Mitchell and his team proposed was set up to look into the pension scheme. In the end, the report apparently was submitted, and I say apparently because the Prime Minister never came forward and gave that report. But what he did was come up with a new pension idea so that public workers have to pay into a pension scheme right now. They still don't understand what that whole thing is about. The government is not paying people pension normally, the way it was designed to be. Then some of the workers who come into the system, I shouldn't say some, all workers who come into the system by now and so on and going forward has to pay into a pension scheme. What does people understand about paying pension? The few people that have been getting pension, they're getting a pension. Right? Compared to what's going to happen in the future, right now is confusion. People need to understand that. The whole thing is in confusion. Because the union is not in agreement to the idea.
Yeah, the union is silent. The union seems to get encouragement money. They're silent.
No, Mr. Pierre. The union spoke out. I listened to the things on them. The union spoke out against it, question it all the way. And right now, the negotiations is not finished. You listen to me, Daisy Azal, you listen to Dan Grimes, and that's the kind of situation we find ourselves in. So this whole thing about paying pension, the government is not paying no pension to make a difference. They pay the pension gratuities of $75 million right now, and up to now you can see that it's trickle down into the economy, because I tell you something that I think happening more than anything else. The people who got that $75 million, they go and they pack the money in the bank. Maybe they had mortgage or whatever to finish pay off. They had the university student loan to finish pay off. They might have paid it off, but it did not trickle down into the economy. It did not trickle down. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Take care, Mr. Pierre.
Yes. So we have the line, and the number to call is 442-0175, and you could call on any issue, including issue trending. And yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
How are you?
Great, man.
Let me add something to your 3,000 detainees, man. It's 3,112.
3,112. And that is the detainees that Morris Bishop signed the order for.
all was signed by Maurice Bishop.
But there was over 2,000 people that was detained here, there, and everywhere that Bishop did not sign for.
Exactly. Them was in those was in Hopeville.
Some was in Hopeville, some in Grenville police station. Yeah. One sister that ran for politics from the Holy Comforter spent 2 weeks in Grenville. Her husband used to bring she baby for to nurse.
I know.
Yeah.
We had babies from Montreat, you know.
Yeah, they treated Montreat very, very badly. Yeah.
Well, everybody know the reason why, because they believe because of the love for Gary in Montreat, the scared if Gary come back, that's where he's going to come and start.
They treated Montreat very, very bad.
Yeah, I have a little concern, not one.
Go ahead.
2 weeks ago, I went to pay at least money for a guy, charging $1,500 for obscene language. And he was going on in jail for 3 months. And I listened today and I look at what is taking place with the children and obscene language. I think they should move it from the books. Make it legal.
I support that too. I strongly support. I think I don't know which country in the Caribbean that decriminalize these obscene language.
Yes, because if now what I see with little children all on the road and everything, and it's legal, and not carnival, and it's legal, why a fella cause something in Grenville, a man pick him up and bring him in court, and then he got to pay $1,500, and go to jail for 3 months. My other point is, Mr. Pierre, when I see how this little child from Tivoli died, and for the use of money, everybody was trying. I don't understand yet how we could allow somebody for a little bit of money like this. Why is it that the government cannot pay the money and let them people hustle after, sell some wage, pass with your trucks, or do anything to pay back the money? But that life supposed to come first. I went to the hospital, and my brother was in the hospital, and we asked the nurse, well, what happened? You can't say anything? She said, no, you got to pay for a scan. I said, well, nobody tell me anything. And immediately I paid for the scan. The result was there the next day. So without money, you're dead. So if I don't have it or somebody to have a scan, they're not taking a scan and save your life and said, okay, let me send you a bill. So I want to know, without this national insurance, what will happen? I may not be around in the next 15 years when this new hospital comes around, if you don't have money to pay.
So you don't come into my birthday celebration when I have 100 years?
Well, yeah, I'll be around for I'm not going to the house.
When you come to a big celebration, 100 years. Centurion.
Yes, man. And my other point is that, I will also want to call and congratulate the nurses and doctors, especially of Maryborough Hospital, to see how they're using, is not a building, but they're using simple local stuff to heal people. They was able to save my foot with using local things like young papa. I had a choice, leave Grenada or stay here and lose my foot. And I stayed here. And the doctor worked with me right in Maryborough using papa. I think it was months and they take it out already. And I would like to support them. I'd like to congratulate them for doing that job and let them know that the health is not the building, but the people in the building and how they make you feel, how they explain to you, and the confidence in it can save a lot of life in Grenada.
Before you go, caller, I want to say that while you're on the program, sometimes as we bash the health system and we politicize the health system, the workers get enveloped in that bashing. and nobody really defend government workers. I believe, and I've taken that position a lot of years, that the union must be more proactive in defending public officers. Because public officers can defend themselves and not can come out in the air and say what I did good. But we bash the health system, I don't say, into submission. So the government public officers, we wrap them up in the as how we envelope the bashing. And sometimes it's unfair, but that's what happened. And all people must recognize and zero in what you want the government to do for health care. Bring more doctors in Maribor. Provide more nurses. Provide more medical drugs and assistance. And we must improve the management. Yes, Scholar, thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's important. The hospital, take for instance St. Patrick's. We need the hospital, the medical station in St. Patrick's to operate 24/7. It means that you would have to have about 3 doctors operating there. We need dentists 5 days a week in St. Patrick's. Maybe 2 days for adults, 2 days for children, 1 day for consulting. We need a psychologist to be available. Now that is how you improve the health system. If you heart bad, you have to go away. Yeah, it makes sense. Small countries like ours. Yes, Scholar, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, Scholar.
Yeah, 2 points I want to make. Number 1, I see a flyer going around, I don't know if it's on Facebook or YouTube, I see these flyers going around, and he advertising some DM, and I think he marked very small, Dick Mitchell, it's like a construction. Did Dick Mitchell register a construction company?
I don't know, I don't have a clue in that, and I don't believe Dick is so
let me just give you the further what I pick up. What I understand that they started, they cut the ribbon for the St. David Secondary School in Marmong down there. And what I gather is that they start grading the place and thing. And the Prime Minister is the one that put up this advertising that you need unskilled and skilled workers. And if you want to work, you have to call these 2 numbers, which is, I think, is his office.
But you got to remember that the Prime Minister said publicly, the only reason NNP getting help is because they don't know who the real NDC is.
Right.
So maybe they want the numbers come directly to them, so they're going to determine if you are NDC or NNP.
And I understand that the government already put out no money to build the secondary school. It's the Catholic organization, the Vatican and all the Catholic organization over the world that come with contribution to build the school. They building the school is a Roman Catholic school.
Yeah, but the government going to have contribution.
Yes, they will
have
contribution.
Technical, legal, as such.
But they don't have the big contribution, Mr. Pierre. Because
yes, but
not know that government is trying because they say when the school is dangerous.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know why they can have to have construction company register. I want to find out if you register this company.
That tell you is a political lunatic.
Right. And Mr. Pierre, second point. This political lunatic you had that us call this lunatic you had that us call you all the time is your partner. You look as a good partner. Mr. Pierre, you look as if you have to tie the man cultural rope with the truth and this man. This man have some kind of brain problem. This man too dumb. This man don't have no clue. He don't have no IQ. This man need to go somewhere and learn something. So why you don't teach him, Mr. Pierre? You look as if you are his good partner.
Let me tell you why. You heard Deacon call people classless, commoners, beggy, culturally illiterate, and I against that. But so we cannot. So I cannot object when Deacon say it, and then agree with when people say it. All of us are Grenadians.
So these people and them, I don't think they have a right to call. Yes, they could call them. They right everybody have freedom. That's their democracy. But the point I'm trying to make, all people like he and KJ and all of them that come in and call on the program and try to defend the government. And the truth is that we have to tie the and then with magic kosher rope, you have to get some magic kosher rope. You have a lot around.
Yeah, but for me to tighten them, we must have them here.
We
have to encourage them to listen. We have to have them. We have to walk hand in hand. We have to disagree with one another, but still smile and enjoy
but to be frank, what you're saying, I don't know. I deal with people that was in the rehab center and Dick taking some mind out and stuff that they can have.
Yeah. Definitely, I believe Dick Anderson mind altering substance.
Yeah, man, he must be. That is a political lunatic.
No, Dick taking something.
Yeah, man, he must.
When I watch his face, I watch his demeanor. I watch how he flip-flopping, how he lying. He taking something.
So how somebody could just that possessive line, that obsessive line,
No,
possessive line.
He taking something.
The man possessed to lie.
He taking something. All right, thank you. Yeah, thank you. We have a call on the line. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, man, on the line, man.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, my brother, thank you.
Okay, wait. Okay, yes. Well, I guess you make a divorce.
I make a divorce long, man. You just have to say 2 words. You're gonna pick up that line.
All right. Yeah. I don't know when you had someone you had the opposition on the line.
Saturday we had the opposition on Studio Galaxy, but we had some challenges.
Yeah, and you asked her a question, and I didn't like the answer when you asked her, because my wife and I were sitting in the living room here, and when she's saying, well, they have to take action. You asked the question, what are you doing about it?
Yeah.
I'll never get an answer for it. What else a commission of inquiry? How do they get that point? I know they don't have the votes, but when do we get to that point, or do we get to that point? That's number one. And number two, that trip to England, was that as a result of what's happening here, the spending practices? So I'm going to hang up now and listen to what you have to say on that.
Yeah, I don't know if the trip was planned. These things has happened with the parliamentary, Commonwealth Parliamentary Office, where they're trying to help to improve smaller countries. So from time to time, I know they attended trip. And this one was on the accounts department. Is the accounts department you call it? In the service. So you'll find the opposition and some members of the representative from the farmers. And that was principally to do with the accounts. So it was a very important thing to do. Yes, caller, welcome. And caller is the last caller for the day. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, ma'am.
When Mr. Deacon Mitchell used that word that is only, you have to know who is the real NDC in order for them to go. Okay, you have to know who is the real NDC. He failed to realize 3/4 Grenadians are NNP. And when he used that kind of language, he must understand that NDC only come in power because NNP decided to give them a chance.
Yeah.
I hope NNP opening the eyes and the ears and listening to his statement, because of NNP who decide to give them a chance, they end up winning election. This is not his first time. So NNP open your eyes, open your ears, I don't give him a chance, and this is all the thanks. This was all the thanks. So know what to do next time.
Yes, scholar, and I agree with you. The Black Wizard had said that before, inside NDC, full of NNP. And the only reason NDC wins election is when NNP get fed up or disgruntled or whatever, they choose NDC. And after 2 years, they just get fed up with NDC. Because NDC is like an infectious disease, Every time it recurs, you need more antibiotic and greater management. Every time NDC come in office, they do worse. I have never seen that. And that is why they're never able to last more than 1 term. Every time NDC come in power, the first people that are affected are the elderly people. They go after the elderly. Every time they come in power, they give a tax break to taxpayers. Well, I glad to. No taxpayer want to pay tax. But while they take money from the elderly, they give a tax break to the rich. Every time NDC come in power, there is acts of corruption. NDC cut down Belvedere nutmeg. The nutmeg that was brought in, I think, 1884, the banana nutmeg, and plant banana. Up to today, you can hear no justification, no explanation what they do, why they do that. And they took over 20 million in loan. And some people believe they was able to siphon off a lot from it. The last time NDC was in power, 2008, 2013, you know they promised the Imani they're going to raise the salary by $1,000. And they promised the elderly people they're going to give them $450. The NDC did not give the elderly people $450. They threw out endless of them out of the seed program and they fired the Imani. They watched the Imani in the eyes. They say, we love all you as how we love with children. And then they fired them. They sold 13 pieces of government property. They sold property that did not belong to them. They sold shares that they did not have the legal authority to sell. They did not pay NIS, although they collected the money. And they brought the country into free fall. They lost all the seats. NDC, prior to 2022 election, they apologized to the Imani. They said what we did to you was politically wrong. We're going to make you permanent. They said this thing easy as the stroke of a pen. Meaning that the first time they go in cabinet, they're going to take a decision. They chastised the previous government for the 100 house unit, the house unit in Grenada in particular. When they come in power, what did they do? They renege on appointing the people. They raise the price of sugar, water, and electricity. They drop the price on condom and panty liner. The 100 house unit in Karakou, they take back the keys from the people. They prevent them from going and shelter in it during the hurricane. And up to today, we are hearing that these houses is for people in the diaspora that have money. The NDC been traveling, ministers been traveling with a boat. One minister said the prime minister traveling with the boat too, so she could travel with us. You saw what they did with the Grenada Development Bank. We are asking them now to publish the names of all the ministers and directors that got money from the Grenada Development Bank. How much money that they got? And what time they get it. We also want to know if the contractor in the closure project, if he had to bid for the job. So if he had to bid for the job, we know it's more than 100,000. Simple. If he had to bid for the job. Did he get the job verbally? You see, the NDC is destroying the very fabric of the society. Listen to the Minister of Finance. He said he don't even want to talk about this level of corruption. He don't even want to talk about it. Listen to the Attorney General. We're going to bring this economy into serious trouble. And she finds serious wasn't serious enough. She said irreparable. The Minister of Housing called it a disaster. So let us pray that the NDC call an investigation and the opposition move a motion and more confidence in the government for corruption. We'll be back with you tomorrow between 12 and 1. Thank you very much.
Turn it up, Real FM, ride the frequency. Talking truth, talking change, talking all that's real with Francis